Little life hack for if you ever get ghosted, change their name in your phone to say, "Who is this?" For example, a few years ago, I was talking to this guy, and not even a week after he initially ghosted me, he's like posting another girl on his Instagram story, like as a girlfriend, which felt so good and incredible, and it was honestly such an amazing experience. So then I changed his name in my phone to say, "Who is this?" So that way I just had a feeling that he'd be calling at some point, maybe. That I could answer the phone and be like, "Hello? Who is this?" Which I thought would be a savage, sick burn.
Get serious, that never works.
I've come to learn that if it wasn't for the pettiness of the modern woman, she would not be able to feel a thing that wasn't pure misery. I mean, she really put some effort into this. She got so angry at him, instead of just trying to move on with her life and accept that she got rejected for the umpteenth time, she needed to figure out a way to preemptively spite him in the event that he actually calls her back. And so her strategy is to become as childish and petty as humanly possible. Woman, you got pumped and dumped, and there's no possible way that you can have the last laugh, mainly because Chad doesn't care for the sound of your laughter, and even if you did laugh, he wouldn't care. He's Chad. He's too busy on the way to his next woman. I mean, let's just be honest here. Even if you were to answer the phone and say, "Who is this?" he would say one word, and the next thing you know, you're biting your lip, you're playing with your hair, and you're already starting to count down of when you're going to be able to meet him for some pizza and then to mount him in the back of his car. You can't help it. Your self-worth is truly that deep in the gutter.
And then a couple of months later, lo and behold, that was crazy. Lo and behold, guess who's calling? Say, "Who is this?" is calling. So I see his name in my phone. I'm like, this is what an opportunity. This is my time to shine. So take a deep breath. I answer the phone and I go, "Hello." And then we talked for like 45 minutes. Quick little life hack for if you ever get ghosted, change their name in your phone.
Well, I sure hope somebody picks up that phone.
Do what?
Because I f***ing called it!
Of course you talked to him for 45 minutes. We're talking about Lord Chadlickar Chadley, High Lord of Chaddington in the Kingdom of Chad. If you were to bother to ask any self-respecting man, they would have told you that your petty excuse to try and own this man was doomed from the start, and that's because your plan had a fatal flaw. And that's the assumption that men think like you, which is physically impossible. Men have common sense. If this guy is calling you, it's because he was feeling a little randy, and you're easy. And the second you picked up the phone, you were done. That's because you're still trying to figure out how to play Pong, while this guy has mastered Command and Conquer, which is why he was able to get you in less than pants in less than 6 hours. Face it, woman, there is no way that you could possibly own this man, or any man for that matter. He had his fun with your skunky grease trap of doom, and now has ghosted you. So on his behalf, allow me to provide you with a message as to where he is and why he never wants to talk to you again. It's less than the least I can do, but I'm feeling generous today.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
The absolute easiest way to meet someone hot in New York City is when it rains and only one of you has an umbrella for the other person to offer it. Walk a few blocks together, walk a few blocks out of your way with them, walk all the way home with them, walk up the stairs with them. I don't know, do what you want. But I knew this guy in college who went up to a girl and she had an umbrella and it was absolutely pouring between class. And they proceeded to go out for several weeks after that encounter where they just walked down the center of campus together. Because you're already in close proximity and you're already seeing that the other person is the planner in the relationship.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, so you are clearly basing this off of purely anecdotal evidence and have zero experience with this plan at all, because if you ask any self-respecting man with a lick of common sense, they'll tell you this plan would never work. If a modern woman sees an average-looking man coming up to them to offer to carry their umbrella so long as they can share it, she is going to throw a can of pepper spray in his face, claim that he's an agent for the secret society of the patriarchy, call the cops on him, and hope that he becomes a victim of that evil police brutality that she always complains about. We all know what's going on here, lady. We all know what's going on here, lady. You want society to change its norms to make your life seem more like a romance movie than the harsh reality that it currently is, and society is under no obligation to do that. And let's just be real here, even if you did have a man to fulfill your movie fantasy, it still wouldn't be right because you imagine it in such a specific way that the second a man doesn't do it the way you envisioned, you immediately get the ick and then you start complaining about how you were almost accosted by a creeper. So, no thanks, woman. You can carry your own stupid umbrella.
A key note with this strategy is if you're the guy and you're asking to share the girl's umbrella, that's totally fine, but you do need to offer to carry the umbrella for them while you walk together. That shouldn't need to be said, but I think in this day and age, some people need a gentle reminder. Also, if I'm 5'1", and I'm walking with a guy with my umbrella, you're gonna need to carry it, otherwise you're gonna have a really uncomfortable walk with me, okay? Also, absolutely easy layup. If you're going to a place that's near each other, let the person who's walking further away take the umbrella and say, can I meet you for a drink later and return this? Oh, fruit is hanging so low. Please, 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 please help yourself.
No.
Allow me to paint a picture of harsh reality for you, sweetheart. If you're walking with a man and you're sharing his umbrella and you ask to borrow it and you promise to meet him for a drink later, that man's gonna look at you and say, no, give me back my umbrella. You forgot yours, that's your problem. You're not gonna walk away with my personal property on the off chance that you're going to meet me for a drink that I'm ultimately going to have to pay for. Thus, in essence, I have to pay in order to get my umbrella back. So, no, give me back my umbrella and meet me at this bar at this time. If you're not willing to, I couldn't care less. But you are not taking my umbrella. You're trying to apply 1940s musical logic to 21st century reality, and you really shouldn't be doing that, sister. And also, from an economic standpoint, what you're talking about really doesn't make any sense. The type of men that you want to fulfill this umbrella strategy are clearly men who work on themselves and have put a lot of time and effort into who they are. And these types of men are not going to skimp when it comes to a quality umbrella, and there is no chance in HE double hockey sticks that he's gonna let you walk away with an expensive umbrella. Broads like you are a dime a dozen, but a quality umbrella, that's forever.
That's funny because it's so true.
If I looked at you and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm really tired of the original Mona Lisa. I think someone should remake it and we should put that up in the Louvre. Like, that's what we should do. Imagine I said that. Okay, imagine I'm like, did you hear about that they're remaking the Sistine Chapel? Everyone's so sick of the old Sistine Chapel. It like really needs like a revamp. You know what I mean? Would you be like, yes? Of course you wouldn't. So imagine my fucking face. Imagine my face scrolling through the social medias of it all and seeing that they're remaking Cruel Intentions.
Well, what did the police say?
Oh man, this is a 7-layer dip of pure ignorance, and I am all for it. For starters, this is 21st century Hollywood we're talking about here. Everything is either a sequel, a remake, or a reboot. It's been that way for a while, and if you haven't realized it, then I feel sorry for you. In fact, the only thing that you should be shocked about is that it took them this long to remake the movie. Cruel Intentions is a retelling of Dangerous Liaisons, which was a movie from 1988 starring John Malkovich, Glenn Close, and a young Keanu Reeves, which in itself is a film adaptation of a play written back in 18th century France. Now, a part of me gets it, considering that they're remaking everything and making it worse, and from that I say welcome to the club, sweetheart. We've actually been here for a while, and it's kind of sad that we have to extend you a membership now, considering that 99% of the movie-going public has been aware of this for quite some time.
Sistine Chapel, Mona Lisa, masterpieces, Cruel Intentions remake? Look at that. No! Don't look at my nose. No! I say nay. This is what I say to Hollywood. Et tu brute? How dare you? How could you? You're gonna remake Cruel Intention! I could barely fathom the craft.
Lady, you're scaring us.
Okay, I'm gonna be the first to admit that I have never seen Cruel Intentions, nor do I ever intend to, but that's just because if I'm going to watch a movie starring Ryan Phillippe, I'm going to watch Way of the Gun, one of the best movies around. Now imagine a movie where everybody's a jerk armed with a 1911 and put them in a semi-realistic gunfight, and you'll see what I mean. Benicio del Toro is awesome with his perfect 90s haircut, and James Caan plays a long-in-the-tooth badass who's as hardcore with a revolver as he is with spewing one-liners. And I have to admit, the writing to this movie is really solid. They're even able to use the same set from the climax of Butch and Sundance. It's a slow burn kind of a movie with some great payoffs, and considering what happens to Sarah Silverman, one of the biggest hypocrites in the feminist comedian cesspool, I think it's safe to say that this movie has a very slim chance of getting a remake, a reboot, or even a sequel.
Shut that mouth or I'll come over there and start her head.
Which in today's modern era, that is the biggest gift a movie could ever give a man. This segment was brought to you courtesy of the generosity of the fine members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon, whose generosity helps to make this show a reality. Thank you so much, gentlemen and gents, for your support. It means not only this universe to me, but the next universe and every single one that's parallel. All hail! If you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find anywhere else, plus a producer credit, plus a shout out from yours truly. It's a great way to support the channel at a low price. The link is in the pinned comment down below. Thank you once again for your support. Now on with the show.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this Hinge date?
An 8.
An 8? I don't know if I can accept an 8.
I mean, it was fantastic. I wouldn't tell you if it was a 10, I feel like, just to keep some of the mystery.
Okay.
So it actually might be a 10. I just don't want you to quite, I don't want you to have like a big head on
Keeping your cards to your chest.
For sure.
Okay, if you could describe me in 3 words, what would it be?
I'd say smart. I would say
Love.
Easygoing. And funny.
Funny?
Very funny.
Thank you. Do you think you possess red flags
Next question.
for me?
No, next
okay,
question.
okay, great.
I'm perfect.
What do you think you bring to the table?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
I know those questions aren't directed at me, but I'm gonna answer them anyway. I'm gonna give this date a negative 2.212, mainly because you're just using this as an excuse to create content for your TikTok channel, and you clearly have zero interest with actually getting to know me. If I had to describe you in 3 words, I would say dull, invasive, and repugnant. In terms of red flags, I do possess many, with my largest being common sense, basic intelligence, and self-respect, because all 3 of those things would tell me that there is no point even being caught dead in public with you. And in answer to the question of what I bring to the table, it's significantly more than what you bring, which is clearly nothing. You see, one of the biggest things that I bring to the table is that I actually have enough respect for other people that I'm not about to shame them on the internet in exchange for a little bit of internet clout in hopes that my TikTok career takes off. It just goes to show how mean you are as a human being, and you're not even worth a shot of bottom shelf whiskey at a dive bar at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
In a relationship?
If this would be a relationship.
Specifically between you and I? Or
Sure.
generally speaking?
No, between us.
I'm hilarious.
Okay.
Humble. I'm literally the most humble fucking guy ever. There's no one humbler than I am.
Of course.
Steadiness. Like, I'm very steady Eddie. I know, I just said that. And I'd say warmth?
Okay.
Kindness.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah?
Boy, there's no real easy way to say this, but, look, you're a simp.
The only appropriate answer if a woman has the nerve to ask you what you bring to the table is to say more than you can afford and walk away, because it's the ultimate sign of disrespect. Dude, you should not have answered that question. You should have retorted by asking her what she brings to the table. Because when you answer that question on a date, all you're proving is that you're willing to simp for her, and you really shouldn't be doing that. This is a woman who's trying to embarrass you on the internet for virtually no reason outside of the fact that she's probably a sociopath. What she is doing is the ultimate sign of disrespect. She's treating you like a job applicant and not like a human being. And if she's treating you like a job applicant, it clearly means that she lacks the capacity to be able to be emotionally nurturing to a man, which is one of the essential facets of a relationship. Bro, she's using you for entertainment. Walk away now.
Last question. If we were to go on another date, where would it be?
This might be a really bad answer, but like a movie, and then hang out afterwards, like drinks afterwards.
Love it.
Like, I know people are like anti-movies for dates because you can't talk, but I think sharing a movie with someone that you both haven't seen is really fun.
See you at Wicked.
Only if I can sing next to you. And you're okay with me singing better than you.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you for participating in the interview.
Happy to. I'm gonna start laughing.
You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle!
Am I the only one whose knee-jerk reaction to this question was, who says I want to take you out on another date? This woman is acting like she has all of the power in this date when in reality, she shouldn't have any. Men control access to the relationships and she's acting like she holds all the cards. And the only way that this is possible is if men play along. The very second that you entertain this idea and try to play along, you've already lost because you're showing that you're willing to simp for this woman. And if there's one thing a woman cannot respect, it is a simp. And there's virtually no benefit to even playing this game. It's just degrading. So any man who allows himself to be treated like this by a woman really just needs to walk away. That's the only acceptable response because she's just going to be using you for fun and for internet clout, and that's all she sees you as a commodity for her to use. Men deserve to be treated with a little bit more respect than that. And that's a lesson that you gotta learn too, sweetheart. Because the dating pool is 99% urine because you can't stop yourself from pissing in it. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then go ahead and support the channel by clicking that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and make sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.